All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to Apex Point Racing League's Development Series Round 8 of the Bronze Lobby here at Mount Panorama today for the season final for Season 4. Got a cracking race lined up tonight, 60 minutes around Mount Panorama. Very hotly contested field of drivers ahead of us tonight. A lot of different battle packs will be forming and going down right to the wire with close points between different drivers, so everything will be on the line tonight. Joining me this evening we have the real DC, so say hi DC.
Hey mate, how are you?
Good buddy, yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. Looking forward to this one.
Yes, I think everyone has been really keen in the lead up to this race, and a lot of excitement for Bathurst, obviously being a fan favourite track here at Apex Point Racing League, but also interesting private practice sessions forming over the course of the week. I don't know if you saw some of that.
Oh yeah, I've probably instigated a couple of private practices as well.
Everyone keeping their cards real close to their chest, hey?
Yeah, with the way the points are going for this round and championships on the line, I think everyone's just been keeping everything close to their chest, and yeah, going to be some good racing tonight, I think.
Fingers crossed, and I think those that keep it clean and consistent will go a long way versus those that take the risks, but some drivers may need to take a couple of risks to take out the title, but we'll see how we go.
That's right.
We've got Race for Life and TCR Falconer who have quickly jumped in the stream to say hi. Hello gents. Good luck Falconer in your race tonight.
TCR's supposed to be racing and watching live as well. Good on him.
Yeah, he's a good sport. He pops in and out between the racing. But we've got the drivers finishing their warm-up. They're going through a driver briefing at the moment with Anthony to run through the setup for tonight's race. But just as a quick rundown for everyone playing at home, we've got a 60-minute race that will be guided by laps, so 28 laps. Tyre wears on 2. Fuel wears on 3, refueling at 5 litres per second. The mandatory compound tonight is the medium tyre, and the race setup is meant to replicate the Bathurst 12 hours, so it'll be a dark start in the early hours of the morning, and the time of day will progress nicely so that about 12 hours of in-game time will be run in 60 minutes total. So it'll be a challenging race for all the drivers, starting in the dark, and qualifying will also be in the dark as well. And I don't know about you, DC, but I found it's very difficult to pick those markers when you're racing in the dark.
Yes, yeah. I've thrown the controller a few times this week, and I nearly spat the dummy the other night. I had enough.
Yes.
I spent about 20 minutes in practice, and I didn't even get one single lap out without hitting walls, and it was not good.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, it's a long race, but going fast goes a long way. But I think during the race itself, consistency is going to be key.
That's correct.
But I mean, consistency can only get you so far in qualifying, right? So there sort of needs to be a little bit of risk taking done in qualifying. But personally, I'm thinking the banker lap would be the smart move for qualifying, and if you just keep your nose clean and tidy and let the others trip over their feet and scrape their paint along the walls, then it'll pay dividends in terms of your starting position.
Yeah, that's right. It's a long race, and I mean you don't need to qualify on pole for this one, I don't think, personally anyway. So, and I think strategy is going to play out as well. I think, especially with some of the private practice sessions that I've been a part of, there's been a couple of strategies that we've been trying, and I wouldn't be surprised if there is some that try the one stopper, and some that might try the two stopper as well. So both are very, very similar on times, but the two stopper with I think a double stint on softs might actually give a little bit of an edge of stability, and if people are going for the cautious route, then I think 2 stops on with 2 lots of softs and then the mandatory medium might actually pay dividends. So
Only time will
it
tell.
all depends. That's right. So in about 60, 70 minutes from now, we will know.
That's a certainty for sure. We've got a couple of special liveries out on the track tonight. Morg's repping the Shell V-Power AMG, which is a very nice
How good is that looking on the AMG?
Something about Morg's in the Shell V-Power liveries at Bathurst that just seems to work for him, so hopefully it works out well. He's a contender for could be one of the top three steps of the podium, yes.
Could be, hopefully. I got my fingers crossed and up for Raz, but I'm just biased on that one. So.
team bias, yes.
That's right. And how good is the livery on GTOs?
Yes, another supercars sort of focused livery there.
Supercars take, yep.
So,
yeah.
So as you can see here, the room has been reset to the accurate time of day. And if we jump on board with the cars in the pits, it is pretty dark back there. A couple of drivers got the yellow lights on, a couple of drivers got the clear ones on. Personally, I think the yellow is the way to go on a track like this, but either way, you have lights rather than no lights is always a good starting point. So right now we're just waiting for all the drivers to get themselves in their pit box for the grid. We'll just have a quick run through everyone at the moment, just waiting on Raz to tick in. But
come on, Raz.
It will be,
tick in.
There he is. So we will be starting qualifying shortly. After qualifying, once the grid has been set based on starting positions, fastest laps and things like that, we will also be joined by Anthony, who's running the show in the background here for the race tonight. So he will join us for the race start and commentary all the way through. But without further ado, we're about to kick into qualifying and we'll give you a run through of all the drivers on the grid tonight as quickly as we can. Just a reminder to everyone at home, it is a one-shot qualifying, so one lap around Mount Panorama, well, effectively 2 laps. You do your out lap and then you do your hot lap. Just get all the race info up and ready to go. And it looks like 10 Pilot being first pit box to the exit. It's good to go.
Yep.
So 10 Pilot, privateer racing for themselves, are currently standing 8th in the Bronze Development Series Championship on 145 points. Then we have GTO Mad with the HRT inspired livery that DC was mentioning earlier. GTO is actually sitting 2nd in the championship on 192 points, and he is tied 2nd.
We'd call that equal first. Yes.
Slightly behind Cruiser Online, just based on number of wins and things like that. So GTO Mad and Cruiser Online will be ones to watch. Essentially, whoever finishes in front of one another should take out the title, but obviously there's another point for fastest lap as well that we all need to consider. Then we have behind him Creepy Friendly for Stealth Racing on 132 points, currently sitting 8th in the championship, running the SLS AMG, the old school AMG, which is nice to see. Good variety of cars there. Next up we have a fan favourite over at APRL. We have Razmaz, who is sitting in 3rd in the championship and not too far off GTO and Cruiser on 185 points, racing for Paradox Racing, and he has come a long way this season. I mean, he's been your teammate, DC. How have you seen him improve?
Oh, from where he was last season, night and day. Honestly, he's just been pun intended. He's come a real long way, and we're really proud of him over at Paradox, and nothing but good things for this guy.
He's a very, very well-liked individual in the community, so we wish him all the best for tonight.
Yep. He is a mathematical chance to take it out, but a lot of things need to go his way. So
yes, that's right.
But anything can happen here at Bathurst, so
that's the way.
Yeah.
Behind him we have Dank Racing, or Mr. Dankington. He has raced in the Scuderia Sprint Series on Thursday nights, but this will be his first time out in the Development Series, and what a baptism of fire this will be. Following behind him, we have... Yeah, that's right in the deep end. Got Morgs, as mentioned, running the Shell V-Power AMG GT3. He's racing for Fast Ev Racing and is currently 4th in the Development Series Bronze Championship on 183 points. So Cruiser 192, GTO Mad 192, Razmaz 185, Morgs 183. I'll quickly move through the rest because they're flying through their qualifying laps at the moment. Then we have the Elder for NRG Racing, currently sitting 7th in the championship on 147 points. Jobby was a late joiner to the Development Series, only has 95 points and sitting a little bit low on the leaderboard, but his average finishing position is 3.3 recurring, so he did have a win last week. So that's right, yes he did.
Yeah.
Looks like we've got someone spun in the dipper, and I think that's GTO. He has spun just out of the dipper there. I'll see if we can get a replay of that, so we'll have a quick little look-see and see what happened there. Coming over Skyline, and he just lost the back of the AMG there. Unfortunate for him there, and hit the wall, and then hit the wall a second time trying to redo himself. So it's safe to say that he will be starting at the back of the grid there,
that is
which
not
is
good.
Unfortunate.
10 Pilot's just coming through the chase now to finish off his lap.
We'll jump on board with 10 Pilot and we'll get to the other drivers. Apologies, we will cover everyone off there, but we'll have a look at these numbers as they come through. So 10 Pilot in the Ferrari coming across the line to set the benchmark time for all the drivers to follow.
EA 204.9.
It's a solid banker lap. GTO looks like... Oh, no, that wouldn't be GTO. It would be Creepy Friendly following through next with a 2-minute 8.8. Raz goes second there with a 205. GTO understandably at the back with his spin. Morgs is over next. 207.3 for Morgs there. The Elder coming on through. Ooh, nice and close to Morgs there.
Jobby with a 203.
Jobby
to take out the top.
Take out the top position. Still got a couple more coming on through.
Yeah, Sideshow with a 204.
204 from Sideshow. Well done, Sideshow.
Not bad.
Next one to cross over will be Full Grumpy in the Ford GT.
Yep.
Full Grumpy on 144 points at the moment. Riding up right along that wall. 5th position, a solid result for Full Grumpy there.
The 204.0 for Cruiser Online puts him back up to 2nd.
And last but not least,
TCR Falconer with a 207.2.
207.2. There you go.
Round us out.
So
Not
quickly pick up from where we left off. So we've introduced Jobby. Cruiser we've introduced. Sideshow we didn't touch on. He's actually on 170 points racing as a privateer tonight.
Yep, in 5th position.
That's right, in 5th position. Full Grumpy we touched on very quickly. Then we have TCR Falconer, I believe sitting in 6th position on 160 points. Well, 6 rated in this lobby based on attendees. And the Elder as well. I think we were just talking about him before the time started to fly through. So
yeah, so he's on 147 points and currently sitting 7th in the championship. From NRG Racing.
So we got the cars doing their cool down lap while the game wraps them all up, but we did a little bit of forecasting prior to jumping into this race, and we have a couple of fun facts for all the viewers at home. So who will take out the bronze title? So as we were mentioning earlier, Cruiser and GTO are both on equal points, but Cruiser is just ahead based on finishing positions and number of results compared to GTO. Now, Cruiser will win as long as he beats GTO by 1 point. So he has to finish ahead of him, essentially, but also has to finish ahead of him by a big enough margin of at least a point or so. So first place gets you 35 points, second place gets you 33, third place gets you 31 points. So if he finishes first and GTO finishes second or third, he'll be fine. But where it gets interesting is that if they finish towards the mid-pack in fourth or fifth, there's only 1 point of difference there, so it could go down to the fastest lap.
And whoever's in front, if the other driver gets the fastest lap of the race, then it's still tied.
That's correct. Yeah, the vice versa applies for GTO Mad as well. If he finishes ahead of Cruiser, that could be his for the taking as well. Outside of chance though, Raz, he has at the moment two points ahead of Morgs. So he's got a little bit of a hill to climb if he wants to finish first overall, but if he wants to hold that third step, then he will need to finish ahead of Morgs. But time will tell in a short amount of time. So I'll chuck it to you, DC, to run through the qualifying results as I pull them up on the screen.
Yes. Okay, so we've got Jobby in pole position with a 203.2. Followed by Cruiser Online with a 204.095. 0.8 of a second behind, not too bad at all. Following up third, we've got Sideshow with a 204.8 and 10 Pilots with a 204.9. Razmaz in fifth position with a 205.8 and Full Grumpy with a 206.4. We got TCR Falconer with a 207.2, Morgs with a 207.3, and the Elder with a 207.4. Creepy Friendly, we have 208.8, Mr. Dankington 209.7, and GTO with that unfortunate incident, 2 minutes 21. So he'll be bringing up the rear of the field.
And boy, does he have a literal and metaphorical mountain to climb.
Absolutely. So he's put himself in probably the hardest possible position to take this championship out, but he is a very consistent and good racer here. So I think he should do very well. But what I find interesting is we've got second, third, and fourth all within a second of each other, and seventh, eighth, and ninth I think are all they're in the 207. So we're going to have some good battles here, I reckon. So there's a couple of little groups that are tightly matched with some pace here. So, and then I know GTO is capable of the 203s and 204s. So bringing up the rear, so we should see plenty of action.
Definitely, and I will just go to a question that we had from Race for Life in the community, asking what happens if the points are tied by the end of it. Does it go down to the number of wins, kind of like in F1? Yes, that's correct. So it'll be based on who had the most wins, and then there's other metrics that follow along from that afterwards as well. So, I mean, it's a really interesting qualifying grid that we have so far, because essentially Jobby has proven to be one of the quickest in the bronze categories and will most likely move up to that silver ranking next season. But he's at the front of the grid. So essentially you have Cruiser in second and GTO in 12th. So if you take Jobby out of the equation and if you just focus on the rest of the pack, because Jobby joined the series late, so isn't really a contender for the championship, you essentially got first and second starting at the front and starting at the back. And it is a big mountain to climb, but all it takes, as we saw in qualifying, is just one moment through the downhill section of Mount Panorama, or even uphill braking traction. And if you get your car caught in a bit of an awkward position, then the amount of time that it takes is just insane, and gaps can be built or lost in that period of time. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this all ends up tonight.
Yeah, I got stuck there last night and did the old Austin Powers forward, reverse, forward, reverse, forward, reverse.
Yep, and I don't blame you.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting.
Definitely will be. I think, especially with so many different battle groups are forming. So you've got obviously Cruiser and GTO that are really close and they're fighting for the outright title, but then you've also got Raz and Morgs jostling for that third step of the podium. And then beneath that, you've got Sideshow and Falconer. They're only 10 points apart as well. And, you know, if we're looking at drivers such as the Elder, 10 Pilot, Full Grumpy, the Elder's on 147, 10 Pilots on 145, and Full Grumpy's on 144. So they could move up or down 2 different positions purely based on where they finish. But that's enough yakking from me about that, because we're about to get going here. DDK Manimal, thanks for joining, mate. Says cold tyres, cold night. First lap will be interesting. Definitely will be. As we
hope we just get through turn 1 nice and safely.
That's exactly right. Let's make sure that we get through Hell's Corner nice and clean. I'll keep the names on for the start of the race, just so that we can see who it is in the dark here. But we will get underway shortly as Anthony has joined the comms box, so he'll jump in shortly. But we are about to get underway at Mount Panorama, and we are racing in the development series.
Oh, we've got action. Full Grumpy and TCR have
we've got an absolute traffic jam.
Already got.
Well, that's just 2 free positions for GTO right there. That will mean a lot there. It's more than likely that TCR, Falconer and Full Grumpy got caught out by the rolling start on the curbs there, but we'll jump back up the front. Jobby's already up and away over Mountain Straight, heading into the bend up here, and the rest of the line is forming just nicely behind them. Cruiser in second, Sideshow in third. So I don't think that caused a huge impact to the drivers up the front, but most likely the drivers at the back, and I think the biggest beneficiary of that was GTO, who has jumped from P12 to P9. So that's a bit of a strong gust beneath his sails as he makes his way up through the cutting. Sorry about that, Anthony. There was a lot happening there. Welcome.
That was crazy, and the thing is, guys, I will say, when I was doing the driver briefing, the sentence I did say, word for word, was, guys, don't rush the first corner. Some of you may also be starting on the bend due to the nature of where you are starting at the back, and if you're following that Ford GT, it's going to be a dog on the cold tyres, so be aware of that Ford GT. And
it was the Ford GT.
It was the
I told him that car's going to be a pretty poor choice for this track, unfortunately for him. But he qualified well with it. But unfortunately, at the stage you saw, he had a bit of an incident, which is just very unfortunate, especially catching out Falconer. But there will be traffic for a number of laps here at the top of the mountain, so he'll have an ample opportunity to catch that up.
Who would have thought that commentator's curse could be possible when you weren't even in the comms box?
I mean, it happened as soon as I joined, so maybe it was just one of those things that was pending.
Maybe. I think Full Grumpy might have just had a moment up the top of the coming down the mountain as well. He's fallen a little bit further behind now. So, not
It'll
sure.
take him time to get that car up to temperature, and then he'll start lapping.
Yeah.
But, so hopefully he gets it all in order.
It's one car you won't miss though, with those illuminated side pods behind the driver there. So great looking car.
How good does it look?
Really works well in these sort of night races. So yeah, not the most competitive car, but good on Full Grumpy for giving it a go and sticking with it. So we'll check and see how things are going up front here. We've got Jobby leading the way in first by 3 seconds. Cruiser is in second, got about a 4-second gap to Sideshow there. Sideshow doing a nice job in the Toyota Supra, running in third. Razmaz crucially is ahead of Morgs at this stage, but again it's still a very long race, and he's got 10 Pilots, the company close behind him in 5th position.
So 10 Pilot has had a penalty or an incident by the looks of it. He started at pole, did he not?
No, Jobby started on pole.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I think 10 Pilot's pretty much around the area where we left him, so he seems to be just focusing on holding his ground and staying with it for the time being. Morgs running through in 6th, followed by the Elder in 7th, and Dev Series debutant, Mr. Dankington in 8th at the moment, and GTO Mad, who is currently 2nd in the championship, sitting in 9th, hoping to start chipping away at that lead by Jobby. But essentially Jobby's not where his competition is, it's Cruiser, so he just needs to focus on putting in some clean laps and hoping some misfortune goes the way of other drivers.
So we will probably see some of these cars struggling around Forest Elbow. It definitely took me a while to figure it out with the car that I was driving in practice, just losing the back end. So hopefully these guys have had enough practice so they can start nailing that corner. I think the trick to that was actually braking early to power through it rather than downshifting through the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. The rear can just break loose so easily there, and you're trying to get on the power early as well, and it's just a recipe for disaster coming through that. So it's going to be a test of patience, I think, for all the drivers here, especially in this stage of the race where the tyres have been cold from the start. The track is cold as well. We are expecting it to stay dark for at least another 10 minutes or so, just under. So they'll just need to adjust to these conditions.
We've got a few different tyre choices out in play at the moment as well, so that will make things interesting as well.
Mm-hmm.
Any strategy picks for us, Sting? What do you reckon?
I don't know. There's definitely the one stopper. It's doable, but with a little bit of fuel saving on this one.
Yeah.
But I think the two stopper
sorry
might
to
be
interrupt,
a safer
gentlemen.
option.
We've had a spin from Yoey, so we might just quickly cut back to that to see what happened to him there. So we ride on board with him in the cockpit there. Oh,
Great
looks
rejoin.
looks like a similar incident to GTO Mad in qualifying. Must be an Mercedes AMG thing happening there, unfortunately.
Oh, he's just tagged.
Just clipped the wall again on the way down. Picked up some damage on that one.
And that's put him right down the back, unfortunately, so just needs to take the time to reset and get back going again. But again, it is a long race. I don't think he's completely out of the woods yet, so, you know, out of contention that is, so we'll see how he fares. Alright, it'd be interesting to see where these different tyre strategies come into effect here. Just on riding on board with GTO Mad at the moment, he's in the slipstream of Mr. Dankington, but unable to reel him in. That M6 has just been too strong this season over at Apex Point Racing League, but where I think the AMG has the biggest advantage is in the curbs as Dankington. Oh no! Holy
pressure
moly!
Was applied.
We're going to have to quickly have a look at that.
He has got damage almost all the way around that car.
So we're just riding on the chase cam of GTO, just following through. Dankington just breaks the rear. Oh, nothing that, oh geez, GTO could have done there, but fortunately it looks like he doesn't have too much damage, or any damage. But Dankington would be taking a big hit as a result of that.
The only thing still good on that car is the front left. Front left tyre. Everything else is flashing red.
I think GTO got away with that one.
Yeah, I think he got very, very lucky there that it didn't slow him down or cause him any damage. So it seems that those moments of fortune that we were talking about a little bit earlier to, you know, help him chip away at Cruiser maybe slowly coming his way. He's already up to P8 from P12. I think that was just a case of cold tyres from the BMW, don't you think?
Oh yeah, a bit of pressure, putting the power down early. Just he would have been watching that split time, I'd say.
Yeah, potentially.
Jobby is making a nice little gap for himself from Cruiser. They are on a different tyre compound, I will let you know that, but pretty good choice to run the soft compound from the pole position. Cruiser took a bit of a risk on that, but is lapping quite well, considering that the third place car of Raz is running the softs, and there is a sizable gap there also.
So Morgs has jumped into the pits, refueled to 96%, and swaps from mediums to softs. So he has gotten his mandatory stop out of the way 4 laps into the race. I would hazard a guess that he would be looking at running softs to the end as maybe a double stand.
Yeah.
So
he's looking on the 2-stopper strategy, I'd say. Because those softs won't last any more than about 13 to 14 laps.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see where he comes out in the mix here. Yeah.
It's mainly the fuel though. The fuel's not going to last more than 13 to 14 laps. I think the tyres will be fine. Softs will go the distance of the fuel.
So that's given GTO Matt a net position gain of P7. Still sitting behind the Elder here, who isn't a slouch by any means. I think the BMW Z4 has been a semi-popular choice this season in terms of car, but hasn't been the strongest of most tracks. But with its acceleration and stability, I think this would be a very good track to be in a BMW Z4. So I imagine he'll be putting up a fair fight against GTO, not letting him just walk straight by him, no matter where he is on the leaderboard.
His livery paying a bit of homage to Alan Moffat.
It'll be great to see when the sun rises, and we really admire some of them. But yes, as we can see the sun rising in the background over Sydney there, just behind the Blue Mountains, you can see the slightest orange haze over the mountain there as they came down the main straight. I wonder if actually GTO will get the Elder here. It looks like he's slowly chipping away again. That Z4 has really good acceleration but bad top end, so you can see GTO starting to reel it in slowly and slowly here.
And judging by the shift pattern of the Elder, he's on a fuel save, so there won't be much of a drama for GTO to get this job done. But now he's in a bit of an area where he's probably just going to have to be patient and wait. If he plays it smart, in the case he might try and send it. I don't want to, put it out there, but I think if he probably just be patient, he'll have no worries. So the Elder might be looking at trying to get these mediums into a single stop.
And we may have missed it earlier amongst all the pit stop shenanigans there, but Razmaz has actually jumped Sideshow into P3, so he's now cleared the bulk of the traffic, and he will be on his way to set some time trial laps, I imagine, before that clean end.
That would have been a while ago, because Raz was when I gave a bit of a brief earlier, and he's dropping pace to Cruiser on the mediums. Raz was in the softs, but he dropped a second from the last check-in, so Cruiser is holding some pretty good pace on those mediums. As we watch the sunrise in the background there in that shot of Razmaz.
It is a nice sight to see the sun rising over the distance there. Such a good game in the sense of environmental design, time of day, and all that good stuff. But it looks like we're seeing some first light here at Mount Panorama. So that would be probably around about, maybe that 6:30 mark in-game time. So now we can only go uphill from here, or as TCR Falconer has a bit of a spin, allowing Dankington to come through. Just had a spin there at Murray's. Didn't put it in the wall, but is carrying on, but lost a few positions there. So you can just start to see this these incidents having an effect on people's races.
Yeah. And just having a look at the fuel usage of all the cars, everyone seems to be getting towards the 50% mark, apart from the drivers who seem to be saving fuel. Ferrari doing quite well on fuel action. As well as the BMW Z4.
I just noticed GTO's dropped back from the Elder by a couple of seconds. He's just got a little bit of damage on the front end, so he must have put the wall somewhere coming up the mountain.
Yeah. It's crawling, I'd say.
The damage has just worn off, so I would say that's coming up the mountain.
Maybe at the cutting or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So, but yeah, he's dropped back 2 seconds now to the Elder. So that's
alright.
Elder's probably breathing a sigh of relief for a little bit.
Still a long race to go. Plenty
Absolutely.
of time to make up the difference here. So essentially, GTO's 7th at about a 33-second delta to Jobby in P1, but the real delta he'd be focusing on is the time to P2, being Cruiser. And that looks like it's about
9 seconds less.
10 seconds,
less.
About 23 seconds is how far he's behind at the moment. So Cruiser probably in a very, very good position here. He's got, a clear road ahead of him. Jobby's 10 seconds off up the road and not a contender that he needs to be worried about. GTO is in 7th, a good 23 seconds away. So if I were him, I would just be focusing on nice, clean, consistent laps. And I think Raz will be doing the same as well on P3. Everyone's sort of running their own races as the sun starts to rise over Mount Panorama. But where the difference will come will be in the pit stops and any future incidents along the way, which there will most likely be one for sure.
Just watching Jobby on his hot lap here. He's looking really smooth, very in control. Car looks fabulous. That livery, you're starting to see them. I have seen in practice that there was a few really nice liveries.
Yes, there are definitely
very comfortable. Looking very comfortable in AMG. I believe he did start the season late and in a 13 AMG.
Yes, that's right.
AMG, yeah. So manufacturers have upgraded him to the later model, and
they saw that he showed potential and put him in the new car.
Potential. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not 100%
he
sure
worked
that he
well
realised
last
that
week.
he was in the 30, to be honest.
We just had Race for Life chime in and said that it's a similar livery to what he had used last season. So yeah, AMG is definitely a popular choice for a lot of the drivers here. So now we can actually have a run through of all the liveries and bask in their glories. So jumping on Cruiser for the NRGZ team, and really enjoyed the consistency in branding and sponsorship from the NRG team across the board, and I think there's a bit of enjoyment and also frustration in seeing a swarm of Nissan GTRs all looking the same in every lobby, just absolutely dominating this season. So it's definitely worked out well in their favour to have that consistent sort of style and livery across the board there. So good job to team principal The Elder for NRG Racing as a whole, and all the work that he's put in with his team and all the drivers there as well. Now, DC, talk me through this concept behind Raz's livery, because it looks like it's a sort of half and half job with a 50-50 split on Logitech versus Fanatec hardware, or I could be mistaken here.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a theme paradox. We don't know really if we're coming or we're going. We don't know if we're yellow. We don't know if we're white. I've seen it in the past, and I thought, oh, let's give it a crack, and I think it's come out really beautifully. So
yeah,
it's definitely very different. But yeah, so it took a few hours to come up with that one, but yeah, I'm really happy with the way it come out, and it just looks really good on track. So
no, I agree. There's there's something that's just really nice about those subtle and consistent liveries there. So good job to you and the team for
Thank you.
bringing that one through. We have Sideshow here next, who loves the chrome.
Yep.
Pain in the backside for us when we take photos. Got to turn that glare all the way down, but he loves the chrome. Ran the Dodge Viper last season and it's affectionately named this Toyota Supra the Dodgy Viper. Just a lot of candy red chrome and a lot of silver chrome on the bonnet, and it's not hard to miss him. But shout out to Sideshow. He's come a long way from last season in terms of his performance and consistency, and to be sitting in the championship at the moment, currently in P5, I believe it is. He has, definitely shown his improvement, which is, what we're all about here at Apex Point Racing League. 10 pilot in the Fazza. Obviously hailing from Queensland there, got a nice little livery that I want to say looks familiar, but I would hate to butcher the brand or the explanation as to where it comes from, and he's done a nice little job. I might just shout out to him here as we ride on board with his car. If you look at the side of his car, the 10 pilot symbol on the side door of the car is a very nice touch, so good on you 10 pilot for putting in the effort there. Now, Anthony, you were talking about the Elders livery earlier, and we've got him front and centre. So, did you say it was a tribute livery? Is that right?
Tribute livery to Alan Moffat by the looks of it.
Very nice.
I'm not sure what year that would be. In the 80s, I'd say.
Yes.
But all these tribute liveries that are going on, I think I might have to do something for tomorrow's race.
Yes, I've painted my car fluoro yellow to hopefully be seen a bit more. We'll see.
So that's a tribute to Alan Moffat's Trans Am Mustang for Bathurst.
Really nice. There you go. It's loud as a Mustang, probably the BMW Z4. But we'll just make our way through the rest of the grid at the moment. We've got Mr. Dankington has actually put himself up into P7, and GTO Mad's gone down into P9, so something's happened there as we were admiring all the liveries. Mr. Dankington running a Rockstar Energy Drinks livery as he pulls into the pits on lap 10 with his medium tyres. He's actually racing from the centre, well, relatively centre of Australia in Alice Springs, so shout out to Mr. Dankington representing the Northern Territory. I believe he's our first Northern Territory driver. DTR Falconer has a very nice livery using those colours of red, black, back and white. As I'm just reading the comments here on the stream, DDK says that GTO has pitted. So I might get a tyre update from you, DC, as to what GTO's running, if he's changed tyres and got fresh fuel.
Yeah, he came in on lap 9 and took on full fuel and racing soft, so I think he may have even changed his strategy, going from the position that he started in and running the two-stopper.
So essentially that means he's got about 19 laps to go. Who have we got here? Mr. Dankington
has had a spin and he is in a 50-point turn situation.
Austin Powers.
Traffic. What's that
Let's see if we can jump back to him there. Same spot again, just coming out of the bend. It just seems to be really slippery, that BMW M6 on those curves there. Need to be very, very careful. So yeah, a bit unfortunate, but again, still a long race to go. I'm going to stop saying that because I've said it probably too many times now. But we're now starting to see the pit stops starting to come through. The top 3 have still carried on, so they're all calling each other's bluffs. Sideshow, though, in P4, first to pull the trigger out of the top 5. He's pit on lap 11, and 10 Pilot has chosen to carry on, as well as the Elder behind him.
I think
probably
this lap, yeah. His fuel probably won't let him go another lap, and his tyres are also pretty shot as well. So
is Jobby running softs or mediums?
Jobby's on the softs.
I think what you're going to see here is the GTRs are going to keep going, like the Energizer Bunny,
Yep.
and just keep going.
I think Raz might stay up. Oh, Raz just had a scrape of the wall. He hasn't taken damage, but yeah, he's carrying on through the cutting now. So that was nearly a moment there.
Oh, yep, can see that. We just pulled up the replay and he just gently grazed the wall there, so no harm, no foul. But probably a bit of a warning shot from the mountain to remind him that, hey, you know, you got to watch out.
That's right. So I think he may be still on a one-stop strategy. Time will tell.
It's going to be interesting though, hey, because Jobby pitting on lap 12. It's not halfway, so you can't go to the end of the race. So he's going to have to come in again at some point. And some of the early stoppers like Morgs and GTO and things like that, they've already done like a bit of an early stop, so they're going to be on a 2-stopper as well. So this could all sort of come together towards the end of the race here, as long as everyone keeps their noses clean.
I think what
Jobby is in.
Cruiser just going for a one-stop is what I'm going to predict here.
Yep.
I don't know
he's got
if
the
he's
fuel
going
to do it.
You reckon he's got the fuel to do it? I was going to say, he's just starting lap 13.
He'll get another 2 laps. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
He'll definitely get another 2 laps out of that. Raz has pulled into the pits as well, so he will be going on a 2-stopper, I would say.
And Brave is the man piloting the Ferrari and trying to hit the lap 14 mark to try and get halfway through the race. He'll pull up just behind Jobby, so Jobby's coming out at a nice little window. I think he should stay ahead of 10 Pilot here, just with the fresh tyres. I'm assuming he took on the mediums.
Softs.
Jobby took on the softs.
And Raz, I think I just saw a flash of yellow, so I can assume he's on the mediums.
Yes, he is.
Raz looking to get that mandatory tyre out of the way, whereas Jobby's looking to just capitalise on that track position and the momentum of the soft tyres and just spend the majority of the tyres on the on the softs. Yeah.
Is there a bit of an insight to the strategy here for Raz? He has not taken on very much fuel.
Yes, there will be. I would say.
Yes, we play this. Yes.
Yeah. No. This is definitely
part of the game.
Yeah, this is part of the plan.
Not a mistake. Not a mistake. I don't feel like he could have drove to the end.
Right.
You don't sound super confident there. You're just trying to distill the chaos.
This is what he's going to do. No. Right, this is what he's doing. He is on a 2-stop strategy. He's going to be pitting in about 3 laps time. He's going to do 4 laps on the mediums, probably the bare minimum, and then he's going to come out with the softs. So he's only just taken enough fuel to get a quick pit stop, quick mediums, get that out of the way, and then he'll come back in about 3 laps time, put some softs on, full fuel, and run to the end.
It'll be interesting
That's
to see what
I hope he's doing.
Race for Life just jumped in the live stream commentary and said Ferrari strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he probably could have got the news to the end. I think what I'll keep an eye on his lap times. I think he'll find that his lap times will be quite close to his soft times on the mediums.
Yeah. We did struggle to get more than 13 laps out of this M6 without fuel saving.
Yeah.
So even if he did fully fuel that, he would be a bit of an uphill battle to get that all the way to the end from there anyway.
There was a request from the chat from Race for Life DC. You might need to check with Raz that he has the drink.
The Red Bull drink?
Just the Kimi Raikkonen call from the old days of the Ferrari. Does he have the drink? Raz, you do not have the drink. He might have a
I'm
can with him, likely.
I'm kind of hoping he doesn't have the can with him at the moment, but maybe he does. Maybe he does.
Well, if the can was there, it might explain a few things. But no, when you distilled the thought process down just then, it makes a lot of sense. I think there's a couple of guys going for the more, I'm not going to say risky strategy, but the one that requires a little bit more thinking and a little bit more care with worn tyres. So they're people like Cruiser, 10 Pilot, the Elder. They're still on their tyres from the start of this race. And I imagine being lap 14, they would be looking to come in this lap. I'd be very surprised if they stay out.
Cruiser's just about to come to the pivotal point where
he has stayed out again.
Cruiser. Going, maybe really wanting those soft tyres, but I mean, you go for it, mate. But your competition's in P7, so as long as you keep the car pointing straight, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
The issue here will be the fuel. He's very low on fuel.
He might not know what job
10 Pilot also stays out in a Ferrari.
10 Pilot has the fuel to do it,
but does he have the tyres? I suppose
He's
if they're on the
mediums, his tyres are fine.
Yeah, I suppose if they're on the mediums, good on and keep going.
But yeah, Cruiser's fuel is worrying, but he would know.
The Elder stopped with 1% fuel left, so he's come in right smack bang in the middle, so he'll more than likely pick up another set of mediums and carry on.
Yep.
So where does that put everyone here? Razmaz in 4th, Sideshow in 5th, GTO in 6th, Morgs coming up over the line in 8th, but should be 7 by the time he passes the Elder's pit box. Yep. Dankington running nicely there in 9th, Falconer in 10th, Full Grumpy, not too far off from Falconer actually, so had a bit of a rocky start with the broken headlights and scratched body panels on that Ford GT. That poor car's seen a few days there, but still hanging within 2.5 seconds of Falconer. And then Creepy Friendly in 12th at the moment, with also a few broken headlights and scratched bodywork components, but
he'll be in the pits, I'd say. He stays out. Oh my Lanta.
Right, so Cruiser's just coming through the chase now. He should be pitting this. He won't do another lap. There's no way.
Well, I just
so
saw
I would say he'll probably he'll probably put the softs on. He has to put the softs on here. He's I thought
about that too. I thought he looked like he was going.
What's he doing?
Everyone's got
ultra fuel
with 0% fuel left.
So he should come out in between Jobby and 10 Pilot. Oh no, 10 Pilot's also pitting as well, so Raz may sneak in, but we'll just have to wait and see. So it's interesting here because obviously Cruiser and 10 Pilot are going to stop. This should be their last stop for the race. Raz still has to do another stop, so he better get his boogieing on. Sorry, we've got to jump to Sideshow, who had a bit of a moment there just at the chase. Pressed the wrong button, which is not the right thing to do there, so I'll do that again. I think he may have just had a little bit of spin coming out of the... Oh, he had a big moment. He lost it before he even got to the chase. Took the dirt on the inside there. Whoa, that was a big scary moment, and luckily was ghosted.
Who was that went through?
I believe that would have been
GTO. That would have been GTO.
Yeah. Oh, GTO seems to just be getting all the luck with the ghosting today. But that was a scary moment for Sideshow. Just the rear stepped out. I imagine he may have hit a small piece of grass on the outside of the truck there. But yeah, if rollover physics were realistic in Gran Turismo, that car would be tumbling all the way across the track.
So what's a fuel stop take? Sorry, a pit stop take for tyres?
It's about... I think it's about 20 seconds to get into the pit, into the actual pit stop. Your tyres take about 3 to 4 seconds, and then obviously it's 5 litres per second. So for a full stop, I actually haven't really tested it much, but it should be around the 40 seconds, 30 to 40 seconds.
Once you had everything up.
Yeah.
Jobby's going to have to start really pushing then, because Cruz is only 28 seconds behind.
He's just pulled out a 2 minute 2.7.
Tyre.
13 laps on the soft. I wouldn't put that past him. He seemed to do a really good job on the fuel management side of things in the first stint. He's going to have to be very careful and not be setting fastest lap times, which, I mean, that sort of opens up the door for a little bit of an interesting race here, because essentially if he wants to protect his position, he's sacrificing the fastest lap attempt. And if GTO by some stroke of miracle luck manages to finish just behind him with the fastest lap, then they'll be tied again. So, well, depending on where they finish, but yep, we'll wait and see.
And Raz has just pulled into the pit stop, like I just said. Yep.
As planned, perfectly.
As planned with our strat. So he'll take full fuel, soft tyres, 12 laps to the end, I think it is.
So this will be interesting now, because Morgs, who is sort of in direct competition with him here for third position, is also in the pits, taking on a fresh set of softs and fuel. So as long as Raz keeps his car pointing in the right direction, he should be okay. But all it will take is one mistake. And
if we jump on board with Creepy Friendly, you'll see he has a blue flag here to GTO, so we'll see how much this affects GTO across the top of the mountain.
Just riding on board.
Not the best. Oh, there he goes. Made it beautifully. So
that was a fascinating, fascinating pass there. Not the usual area where you would expect to go past the driver, but GTO did it with perfect skill there. So good work to GTO and Creepy Friendly there. Is that Morg still in the pits? No, Morgs is out of the pits, out heading up the bend. So Morgs is a good couple of positions behind Raz there. We've got Race for Life asking, is it going to rain? The cloud has definitely shifted over the track here, so temperatures will be dropping, so that'll be perfect for those that have just put on the soft tyres and want to manage them.
Falconer has
Falconer's
crossing the pit exit
entry and the exit.
Yep, right. And getting shown
a blue flag.
So, but in answer to your question, Race for Life, no, it can't rain, unfortunately. The weather is randomised, so it'll be sunny, cloudy, everything in between, just not rain. So we'll be right on board with Falconer as we watch Jobby stalking behind there to try and catch up. I imagine Falconer won't be putting up too much of a fight for Jobby here. If he gets enough pace, he should let him through before Skyline.
Jobby's colours has got a brand new paint job on it. It's like a very clean race.
Nicely.
Falconer's just hit the wall. I think he was just trying to get out of the way there and...
Just probably tried to move over a bit too far to the left, as we can see on the replay here. Coming around, McPhillamy just loses the rear end a bit and then just parks it straight into the wall. No harm done there by Jobby. Just, unfortunate timing, and now he even has to serve the 6-second penalty, so that's going to feel like a lifetime. And I reckon it will bring Creepy Friendly back into about 30 seconds away from him. That is sluggish.
He didn't take any damage on that one, so he was very lucky in that regard.
It's healed. It looked like in the replay that it did pick up a bit of damage, but
did it?
Healed. Yeah.
Alright, so that should be everyone's pit stops out of the way for the remainder of the race. So we have Jobby out in front, P1. He's got a 28-second gap to Cruiser, but a lot of lap cars ahead of him that he will need to slice his way through.
I think Sideshow might have one more pit stop.
Oh, righto, yep.
He's only got less than a quarter of a tank of fuel, so 10 more laps. I think he will be coming in shortly. And GTO, yeah.
So GTO,
I think still need
Yep.
and Sideshow both still need another pit stop.
Yeah, so Temp Pilot's going to be promoted up to third place in a matter of time, and the gap between Jobby and Cruiser hasn't gotten much larger than it was prior, given that they're both on softs. So
it's important to note as well that Jobby also needs to do his mandatory medium stint. Thank you, DDK, for spotting that. And judging by the amount of time it takes for an individual to go into the pits, change tyres and carry on, it could put Cruiser really, really close to him there. So we'll keep an eye on that as it progresses.
He won't need much fuel, so it'll be probably 30 seconds, 35 seconds maybe.
Well, it's currently sitting about
close.
30 seconds, yep, it'll be very, very close. But Cruiser is on the soft, so you imagine towards the end of the race he will be struggling to defend his position there. Sideshow in P4 with 10 Pilot not too far behind. And then Raz in 6th position there with a healthy gap to Morgs. Yes, Race for Life, only one lap on the medium is mandatory. You can do as little or as many as you like.
Oh, Creepy Friendly's just hit the wall. That's allowed Sideshow to get through nicely though with the blue flag there.
Seems to be a bit of an Achilles heel for the AMG.
Yeah, he's taking a bit of damage there as well.
Fortunately it'll wear off over the course of time, but it doesn't help with the speed loss, especially down Conrod Straight here.
He's got 10 Pilot coming up behind him too now as well.
See those clouds in the distance. It doesn't look like it's going to be clearing up for some time yet, so I think the gentlemen on the track here need to get used to these conditions of slightly colder track temperatures. Oh no, he has a big moment coming out of the chase and he's going to get rear damage there as a result as well. We were riding on board just as he passes the hotel here under the Armour Oil Bridge at Mount Panorama. I think it's just one of those days where sometimes it's just not your race, unfortunately, but credit to Creepy Friendly for trying an alternate car this season, running the old school SLS AMG. Massive props to him for giving some of the unloved cars a bit of a run, so thank you, Creepy. Moving well out of the way for Raz there, as I can see.
I'm just on board with full Grumpy at the moment. He's getting a little bit loose coming down the hill, and he's got Jobby coming up on his backside now, so he's getting shown the blue flag.
Yeah, good shout out from Race for Life there. Good on Yowie for not rage quitting despite having a really rough day and just carrying on. So 100% that's the type of behaviour we like to see. Just carry on, or if you're really having a bad moment or if there's an emergency that you need to attend to in the real world, pop your car in the pits and just stay there until the end of the race. But good on the Bronze Series drivers here for hanging on, and there's drivers that are absolutely super far ahead like Jobby, and those that are a little bit far behind like Full Grumpy, but everyone's still hanging on, giving it a good hard go.
So the gap between Jobby and Cruiser has increased now. It's around almost 32 seconds.
So you may be able to clear him with that pit stop as well. Just have to wait and see. He has set the fastest lap of the race in this recent stint of a 202.7, which is nothing to scoff at. That's quite competitive. I would say that's close to off to the pros territory potentially. So we'll have to keep an eye out for him next season. I think I see someone going really slow in the dipper there. I'm not sure who that. It's Violda's had a big moment. Hopefully we can go back on the replay and see what happened here. Or he got onto the grass at McPhillamy, hit the wall coming down the and then just with those dirty tyres into the dipper, hit the grass again and then went bang into the wall and got stuck there with the notorious Gran Turismo wall glue. So unfortunate moment for the Elder there, but is carrying on.
We got GTO and Sideshow in the pits.
GTO and
Sideshow. Oh, and GTO's come out just in front of Raz.
Wow. Okay. Well, Raz, let's see what you can do here. They were going side by side as we ride on board with Raz. let's see how this works. They've both got
Oh.
soft tyres on, I imagine.
Yes, they have.
Raz not moving out of the way there.
No.
Doing a very good job to assert his authority and dominance on the situation. GTO, it would be in his best interest to clear him as soon as possible, get a fastest lap under his belt, and hopefully pray for something to happen to 10 Pilot, because that would put him right up close to Cruiser, but I don't think it would be enough to take the overall championship.
Well, the guys there, Raz and GTO, they're sitting not too bad. If they pace okay on their soft tyres, they should catch up to 10 Pilot towards the end of the race. I think we might have a three-way battle here for third place. It will be very interesting when we get to that stage of the race. I do believe that 10 Pilot will be on a bit of a fuel save to get there. So I think we might see some interesting things happening towards the last couple of laps.
Who do we have in the pits at the moment, gentlemen?
Yeah, Paul Grumpy. He's
Coming
just
out.
taken on. He's coming out now. He's just got a fresh set of soft tyres on. And
We've had someone have a spin. Dankington again has had another spin, this time just at the top of Skyline, so we'll see what happened there. Probably gone a bit too far back there, but
He's still having trouble.
Yeah, not having a good day, it seems. But then again, this is a very tricky track to make your debut on in the development series, so full props to him for giving it a go. Nothing to lose.
That's right. Morg's gapping the Elder a bit now, so he's pretty comfortable. I don't see him taking any time out of Sideshow though. On the worn set of softs, not too bad. They're just not as good shape as Sideshow. GTO and Raz, this battle will be one to keep an eye on.
Just switch to that as well. Yep.
The fuel is almost identical. The tyres are in the favour of
Not
GTO.
far off. Yep.
Yeah.
Be about 2 laps better.
Yeah, that's right. GTO stopping just a little bit later there.
But they are taking time out of 10 Pilot. So 10 Pilot really needs these guys to start battling. If they do battle, they're going to do themselves out of possible third place. But I don't know if they're going to be really focused on that at this stage. They're probably just going to be going tit for tat.
Yeah, as Raz runs a little bit wide there, compromises his exit onto Conrod Straight. I think potentially GTO could have a good run here as we follow behind them, but we do know that that M6 does have legs, so jump aboard with GTO Mad in the cockpit. Where does Raz position his car? On the outside, which will be the entry to the inside, to the chase.
Too wide.
Side by side. And
he gets it done.
Raz
gets it done.
beautifully just pulls out of that one. So, that was well done.
Fight another day.
That's right, yeah. Now it's up to GTO Mad to claw away at 10 Pilot. But at this stage, if they were to finish second and third respectively, Cruiser would just edge him out by 2 points to take the title for the Bronze Development Series. So let's see how we go, because anything can happen. Pilot chipping away nicely in the Ferrari. Very impressed with his efforts here to pull this Ferrari up the mountain and to even extend the stint in such a way that it has taken him to a one-stop strategy. And I think this would bode well for any drivers taking to the track tomorrow in the Pro Series in the same car. So just goes to show that the Ferrari can be competitive here as well, which is good to see.
Jobby stays out for another lap. His fuel is getting down to the point where he'd be trying to get his pit stop in his mind. probably just watching that gap just to maximise for his pit stop.
Do we think he'll be coming in this lap?
I think it'll either be this one or the next one. He's got probably enough fuel to do 2 laps, but yeah. I mean,
if
the tyres.
Me, I'd be coming in this lap and just trying to get the mediums to get bedded in a bit, because his soft tyres now are going to be.
Yeah, his soft tyres. That the front right is down to like 25%. Compared, I mean, Cruiser's looking at about a 50% tyre wear. So fresh set of mediums, and he's got to attack Cruiser with half-worn tyres on softs. It's not over yet.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle.
Cruiser was pulling down that gap to Jobby a few laps ago. It's down to 32, but now it's at 34. So Cruiser actually scrapes the wall heading into the cutting as well. So it's probably struggling with those lower grip levels. I imagine if Jobby just focuses on nailing his pit stop and getting out on the track with fresh set of mediums, that'll be the race one and done. But these walls seem to close in on you at any moment, so anything can happen. Oh, someone's sideways in as Cruiser just goes straight through Falconer. Holy cow. That was a moment that would have scared anyone. So we jump on the replay here, just have a look at what exactly happened here. Coming over Skyline, the rear just broke loose over Skyline, tried to catch it, almost caught it, and then was parked in the middle of the track, and luckily the game ghosted him there. That could have been a surefire hit, but while that was happening, Jobby seems to be in the pits.
He's in the pits.
So we might jump on board with Cruiser, see where he comes out as a result.
So we've got a couple of battles that will go to the end. Falconer Full Grumpy will be fighting. We'll see potentially Elder and Morgs if Elder can catch up to Morgs. I don't see it happening. Morgs has been pretty strong, confident. Roses seems to drop the tail of GTO.
He's come out in front still.
He had to take a very short amount of fuel. We saw as we
he
rode
took on
board.
38%.
38%, so that time saving of a lighter refuel has gone a long way.
Yeah.
So we can see the sun slowly starting to dip behind the horizon there as the shadows form on the track. But looks like Jobby is ahead of Cruiser there, and then 10 Pilot to follow.
Still got a 10-second gap to Cruiser.
This will be one to watch. GTO has pulled down that gap from 10 Pilot to just 2.7 seconds, so I think this could go all the way down to the wire to the final lap between these two.
Yep.
Raz holding his own in P5 there, just needs to keep the car pointed in that direction for the remainder of the race with Morgs in P8, and that'll cement him P3 in the Development Series leaderboard, as Morgs is actually closing up nicely on the Elder, as you mentioned earlier, Anthony. So it'd be interesting to see how this all pans out. It always happens in these races.
Well, actually, the Morgs has had a mistake because he was in front of the Elder.
Oh, righto, okay.
By like 4 seconds. And I was just saying that Morgs looks comfortable. I must have given him a bit of a curse because I was saying he's looking comfortable. I don't see the Elder catching him. So, pie in my face. Good work, Elder. Keep it going, buddy. That's my team captain there. So, yeah.
It always seems to happen in these longer races where the start is fairly uneventful, aside from that incident on the turn there at Murray's, and then the middle gets a bit, samey because everyone's just focusing on their laps, and then right at the end as all the strategies converge, it gets very, very spicy.
So during the driver briefing, I did forget to mention to the guys I would like to get one of the drivers in for a interview. So once it ends, we'll send over a request for them to join. Hopefully they pick up what we're throwing down. So
see how that goes. But in other news, I think something could be on here between Raz and GTO. GTO just had a bit of a squirrely moment, lost a bit of time to 10 Pilot, but Raz has benefited from that as well. So this battle for third position, yeah, could go all the way down to the end of the race. As we check in on Creepy Friendly to see how he's doing. P12 still chipping away, a bit wide there into Murray's corner, but carrying on nicely until lap 5, sorry. As Jobby, our race leader, is actually on lap 26, so obviously been lapped at some point during the race. It's really interesting to see on the track map, like all these different battle packs forming, but it's a mixture of
Oh, TCR Falcon has just lost it at the top of the mountain.
oh dear.
Coming down the mountain.
We'll have a quick look on the replay with that, and I wonder if it'll be a similar situation as to what we saw last time. So
Yeah.
coming over Skyline,
Yeah.
made it a little bit further down this time, but just before the dipper, the rear broke free and parked him up on the wall there, which is unfortunate, and then doing the Austin Powers shuffle to get the car going the right way there. So
Luckily, no one was around that one.
a bit of fatigue potentially setting in as well. These things happen to the best of us as well, especially on a long race like this on such a demanding circuit. We've got Jobby on his penultimate lap in P1. Cruiser just about to start the penultimate lap. Looks like he may have had a moment as well, because he was only 10 seconds behind Jobby and now he's 18 seconds, and he also had the GT of Full Grumpy behind him and now the GT's in front of him. So
it's been two laps of he done on lap 25 a 208, and then at 26 he's done it. Lap 26 he's done a 209. Lap 24 he's done 206. He is progressively just getting slower. I think he would have been better off doing another mediums, to be honest.
do you think how his tyres looking at the moment? I imagine if he was on the softs, which I believe he was, they'd be pretty shot at the moment.
Like, I mean, they're not the worst. I feel like you can drive on them like this, but I think it was also a bit of a mental game. You see them get down to 50%, which is what they're hanging around. The front right is a little bit less, I'd say 30%, but the other three are around 50%. So I think it's a bit of a mental game here. You know, he's seeing the time creep from Jobby. He's overdriving perhaps. So
As he just
also
navigates
catching the
past
traffic.
Full Grumpy there, yeah, we had a bit of a moment we could hear on the stream. Yeah, interesting. What could have been? Hey, if GTO just nailed that qualifying and would have been snapping at the heels for him for sure towards the end of this race.
yeah.
But he's still chipping away at 10 Pilot though, so that gap was like over 3 seconds. Now it's down to 1.7. But he's only got 1 and a bit laps to do it, as we take note of Jobby, who's lost the start-finish line there. The 10 Pilot's got a good lap and a bit to defend there to hold on to P3 for the race. GTO doing everything he can to take that away from him. Razmaz in a world of his own, just making sure he holds on to that P5 position, which would be enough for him to take the third step of the podium outright for the season.
Falconer just snatches 10th place from Full Grumpy just before starting the last lap.
Also, Full Grumpy's had a really big set of moments there, just coming down the mountain. Danking 10 carrying on his own. Race for Life says, what a recovery by GTO. Mad last place to 4th. Absolutely. No harm in that. Morgs is chipping away at the Elder again. I think he wants that position back that he gave to him earlier. So that might be one to watch as we get a little bit closer to the end.
We've just hit under a second between GTO and 10 Pilot now. GTO is clawing
keeping an eye on
his
them,
way back.
and they've got a lot of. I would believe
lap
that's
to do it.
traffic in front of them. So this will be very interesting If you could guys just let me know who's in front of them, that would be swell. But I can just see 2 or 3 arrows in front of them, I think.
Falconer and Full Grumpy.
Full Grumpy.
Full Grumpy.
Oh dear, this will be very, very interesting. We'll quickly ride on board with them through the Dipper, and then before they get to Forest Elbow, we may jump to Jobby. 10 Pilot navigating it through there. And gets through the Dipper. GTO catches up to him very, very closely here. He's going to be in the slipstream down Conrod Straight.
Down
but
Conrod.
as we quickly jump to Jobby, there's a lot happening here, going through Murray's Corner to cross the line to take out P1. Congratulations, Jobby, on a race well done.
Well done,
Well done, Jobby.
Cruiser definitely looking like he will take P2 there if he keeps the point in the right direction.
10 Pilot is defending like mad down Conrod.
Trying to break
He's
his
not
toe.
leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going for it. He's going. Oh!
Oh!
That was contact.
There's
There was
a little bit of
contact.
contact there.
Wasn't the cleanest of passes.
It could come back
Right.
to serve him the same way again here. Watch out. Here we go.
Oh!
He's gone. Has he gone deep there? Oh!
Oh,
Parked it on
parks
the
it
apex. Oh no!
Oh. It wasn't very tidy, but
Oh.
10 Pilot was wheeling down the straight, so I
Just
guess
watch the replay of
fair's
that one
fair.
there. Shows the nose, makes GTO brake late, and just couldn't get out of the way there, unfortunately. So held on to that position nicely there. Razmaz, as we missed him there, finishes P5.
Brings it in
Congratulations, Razmaz. Next across the line
Sideshow.
is Sideshow. Good work, Sideshow. Good result there. Morgs has gotten the move done on the Elder as they come through the chase. Just need to keep it on the black stuff there. Morgs to hold on to P7 ahead of the Elder. And
Dank is back in the picture.
Dankington has come back to prove that he's ready to fight for it as well. The last 3, because we've had Falconer, Full Grumpy,
Oh,
and...
unbelievable! Here we go. Come on, come on.
Oh! Whoa!
That was .009.
What a finish there. That we just managed to capture
What
that on
a
the live
finish.
stream, but that was such an
Unbelievable.
intense finish there. But congratulations to Jobby. Pole position, clean race. Absolutely well done there, sir.
Unbelievable.
It always happens. This always happens.
Yeah.
Right at the end it kicks off, but let's come back down to earth there as we
Wow.
look through the provisional standings. I say provisional because obviously we saw a lot happening towards the end there. Falconer says, Full Grumpy and I got caught out by the coming of autopilot on the last corner at the straight. We were heading straight and then off we went. I couldn't catch the rest of that, but it sounds like there was a little bit involved there. But irrespective, here's our provisional results at the moment. P1 to Jobby. Congratulations, mate. Another win in the bag for you this season. We have Cruiser in P2 and GTO Mad P3. 10 Pilot held on to P4 just behind GTO Mad. Again, these results are provisional, so we'll have to wait and see what the final outcome is in about 24 hours' time. Razmaz P5, Sideshow P6, Morgs P7. Look at the time difference between Morgs and the Elder. 0.219
Unbelievable.
versus 0.228. That was a micro bee's dick between the two of them, which is insane. Mr. Dankington was also there in the mix for P9. Good job there, sir. Then we had Falconer 10th, Full Grumpy 11th, and massive shout out to Creepy Friendly, or Yoey as he's affectionately known as, for hanging on in there to finish P12. But regardless, we have a guest arriving in the comms box by the name of Cruiser, who's taken out P2 in this race, but also, depending on where the final results end up, position P1 outright in the Bronze Development Series title. Hello, mate. How was
Congratulations.
that?
Mm.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm.
Yes.
Mhm. Yep. Mm.
I think we might need to double check your voice share settings, Cruiser, because a couple of people in the community have noted that we can't actually hear you through, coming through. Do you know how to change that, or you need me to walk you through it? Yep, sure. If you just jump into the party chat, and if you go to the three dots on the right-hand side, and go to voice chat settings, and go share your voice, and you need to make sure that it's set to allow.
Got it. Done.
Okay.
Hopefully everyone
We've
can
got
hear
Jobby
me.
as well, who's has just joined us in here as well. So if we could get him a comms check.
Well,
Hey.
we can hear you
Hey,
loud and clear.
Jobby.
We'll wait for the people watching the live stream to confirm that we can hear you coming through loud and clear. But while we do that, we might just quickly touch base with Cruiser. I have to ask, mate, when you saw the qualifying positions, and I'm not sure where you were on track, but if you had to pass GTO when he had put it sideways in the dipper, like what was going on in your mind there? Your heart must have been racing a little bit there.
Well, frankly, I didn't actually know who I drove through, so
Oh, okay.
it was actually a surprise. Whatever that was, I had no idea
Mm.
what it was. But then, yeah, I guess you know, you can't put it past him. I knew he was going to come back. He's always good at
Yes,
coming from
very
the back.
impressive.
So my eyes were pretty much on the screen watching him. I don't know if the elder held him up. I saw a few laps. He was with him, and then he pitted just in front of the elder. So he's trying to obviously get through him. Not sure if he's blocked him for me, but
No, he put up a good fight.
good.
He wasn't just yielding out of the way based on positions and things like that. He put up a good fight and just held his own, and everything was fair and square. So he, was just holding on to his position there, so which worked out well for the overall outcome of the race. We've got Jobby here as well. Looks like I've got a thumbs up from the chat that we can hear. So say good day, Jobby, and congratulations on your win at the final round this
Congratulations,
season.
mate. What a drive.
Congratulations,
Congrats,
Jobby. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. It was good.
Yeah, you were flying out there today. The 202.746 fastest lap. That's I hate to break it to you, that's borderline pro territory, sir.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't that consistent, unfortunately.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's an endurance race, and obviously just being able to put a marker like that on the board
Unreal,
is amazing in general. And it looks like you were focusing on really maximizing your time on the soft tires and just jumping over to those mediums to sort of serve the mandatory minimum amount of time on them. Is that about right?
Yeah, the tyre wear was good, but the slowing down for just lengthen out the fuel usage to a one stop sort of didn't seem to sort of add up for me in my practice time, so I just thought I'd just go flat out.
Yeah, and I think having that that P1 position, pole position to start from, and clear track ahead of you definitely makes sense to sort of maximize that advantage and just go all out there. Were you ever worried about navigating through the traffic? Because obviously it's a long race. Accidents can happen across any driver, so you were going to come across some people at some point. How did you feel heading into traffic as the race settled in a bit more?
I was pretty lucky. I never got anything in a bunch. It was just driver on his own here or there. When I think it was Cruiser, when he was stayed out extra long on that first stint, it started to make me nervous. Just realising he's only doing one stop, and there was a bit of a gap between us for a stage there. So that might have been when I punched out that fastest lap, because I was starting to sweat a little bit.
No,
I think
but
My intention was never to chase you, Obby. It was all yours.
I think honestly, Cruiser, if you had chose the second stint on the medium tyres, towards the second half of your stint, you would have been making time on Jobby. I think you guys would have been a closer race if you had done the medium tyres.
Yeah, I mean, look, I wasn't down the hill. I wasn't pushing. I mean, I was getting in qualifying. I was getting close to a 203 flat, and when I was practicing, sorry, and down the hill, I was never going to risk down the hill going flat out. So I must have lost the second half to Yobby every single lap on that. alone. There was no risk needed, and the soft tyre I took for the second stint was to protect the position if I had to fight back. So that was kind of my strategy, to use the fastest tyre at the end if I need to fight.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, in hindsight, definitely double medium is probably the right way to go.
Yeah, of course. There, but to still be there at the end of the race, and yeah, only have 10 seconds between yourself and GTO. Yeah, is just incredible to see, especially from GTO starting towards the back there. But there was a slight moment that may arise in the steward's office in the next couple of hours, but I'm not going to invite any more work upon my shoulders here. But
as long as it doesn't involve me, I'm fine.
Yeah. And yeah, from Race for Life, who's in the stream here, said, great job, Cruiser. Well thought out race to end the championship, and I tend to agree. So congratulations again, Cruiser, provisionally taking out the Bronze Development Series Championship for Season 4. Many challenges ahead for you, and I hope you embrace them with open arms. You were always a driver that was on the cusp of that sort of bronze, silver territory, and I think we found the sweet spot for you, and you seem to enjoy your time and had some really strong results. So we look forward to you joining us again and some other drivers on the track, and to Jobby as well, joining a little bit late into the season, but showing the community that you are no slouch. I definitely think that you've got a long way to go in terms of like showing other drivers what you can really do on the track, and we wish you both all the best for the future.
Thank you, and thank you for what you guys do.
Not a problem.
Yeah, thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it, mate.
Really appreciate
Thanks
it.
for what a great race, guys. Well done. Appreciate you guys joining us in the comms box for the debrief. Awesome chat. Thanks. Appreciate yous.
And thanks to everyone who joined on the live stream as well. Special shout out to DDK for watching as well. Race for Life as always for chiming in. And we had Falconer pop in here and there to share a bit of his
watching and racing.
He
And
may have been watching and racing during
when he was in the pits, he was on watching the live stream.
Watching the live stream.
Well done.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
So don't
kids,
forget to leave a like and a
just
subscription, guys.
checking out everyone at other strats. So
and yeah, please make sure, as Anthony said, like and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to share the replay with your friends if they want to have a little bit of a look as to what you do as a hobby. And yeah, open to anyone that's interested in joining. Check out our Discord link in the video description as well, or you can just Google Apex Point Racing League and find us on Discord as well. But to cap it off, I just wanted to extend my thanks to the Real DC and for Anthony joining me in the comms box today. It's been good fun, boys.
you're welcome,
And we'll be at it
thank you.
tomorrow for our turn on the track tomorrow.
Yes.
Keep an eye out for that. Community members, we will have Uncle Pity, as he's affectionately known as, live streaming the race with Ting. And there may be some special crossovers during the race, so we will see how we fare. But keep an eye on that. And from all of us at Apex Point Racing League, good night, farewell, and see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. See you guys.